Got a cracker in it. Oh.
Okay, we are recording. Okay, where do I find my people here? There's 10 of them. I'm going to admit everyone. Are you ready? 3,
Ready.
2, 1, coming in.
We're gonna see something.
Cool.
Okay.
Hey,
Hi, Scott.
Hey.
Quiet.
Crazy Maggie today. She's going crazy. She saw a bunny.
I know. The worst is a bunny nest.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what's under my house, but I don't know if there's that too. I don't know.
That's the worst.
She just goes, I mean, we drug her up, everything. She just goes crazy.
Can you see the puppy in my crate, Scott?
From your picture?
Well, no, it's
only one video. I see you.
There's a puppy in a crate called Pet Tutor, and there's a little puppy in the crate.
You have to choose in gallery up in the right-hand corner up in the right-hand corner gallery so you can see them all. In the right-hand corner of your screen, Scott.
Of my screen. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Side by side.
No, gallery.
Gallery. View options. Options. Let's see, gallery. I see. Upper right hand, you said?
Yeah, I think so.
Standard speaker gallery. Oh, you said gallery?
Yeah. Anything.
Okay. Yeah,
Hi, gallery. Yeah. And then you should be able to see the puppy.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
That Wes decided to call Nana.
No, that wasn't my
choice. You picked it. It's a really silly name. It's your fault.
Oh, Nana Banana, yeah. Okay, why don't we go ahead and get started, Amanda?
I have to mute everyone.
Yeah, I am going to mute everyone right now. Let's see, and then I'll have to unmute you, Amanda.
Okay, I'm unmuted, I think.
Okay, all right. So I'll go ahead and keep letting folks in. We got more joining in.
It's just 7:01.
Yeah.
I like to leave and arrive at the same time, so. My Star Trek, the Jetsons.
And we said we're going to you'll talk about the agenda, and then I'm going to do the contest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll have to help me on the chat. Keep an eye on chat questions.
And do you want to do the video first, or do you want to do one thing that's...
Let's do the agenda, do the contest, and do the video. Sound okay?
So do the video last? Is that what you're saying?
Those 3 things. Just go over the agenda, Amanda. We're not going to run the whole thing. Just, here's the agenda for tonight.
Right.
Then we'll run the contest, and then you can show the video.
The video, okay. Yep. And you talk to the video, about the video.
Yeah. And of course, everyone that's in here now shows how organized we are.
We keep warming up, but
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming. And we're real excited to give you all an update. We're going to be taking questions in the chat. I'm Wes Anderson. with Pet Tutor, and Amanda Hessel is our VP for Marketing and Sales. And so we've got some updates for you. If you also see Scott Moody is on with us with his product is iDog Watch. He's been doing an incredible job on some software development. We were collaborating with Scott to add new features and capabilities that we didn't even talk about the first time we had made the Pet Tutor available. So there'll be some really nice things coming that were not originally part of the plan, but will be a part of the product that's coming soon. We're in beta testing now. And we'll give you a little bit of update. You'll see some of the results of that beta test here too. And so I've got you on mute, but if you just post a question in the chat, we'll get that, try to get that answered. I do not have a Pet Tutor currently. I'm looking for a smart feeder home. Please tell me what version would do. There is currently only, just to clear up for anyone, the Pet Tutor's been technically in the marketplace since 2013, early 2014 with the Generation 1 Pet Tutor. And then we went into a Gen 2 and a Gen 3. Those are not available. As I mentioned in other telecasts, we had some supply chain issues. We couldn't build those anymore. I won't say they won't come back, but right now it's indefinite that the big blue tube version of Pet Tutor will be available. What we do have is the new product, which is in the process of launching between now and summer. Depending on when you pre-ordered, it'll be the Pet Tutor Mini, which I think you'll find is probably improved in many ways. It is a little bit smaller. Most people felt like 5.5 cups was more than they needed. So the Mini's going to have less than that. Well, we're going to get into the Mini in a minute. So Amanda, why don't you go ahead and get us started? I think everybody has pretty well joined now. We'll try to keep an eye on that. And if you will go ahead and take it away, and then we'll do our contest.
So we have the agenda up here, and you can see we're going to talk about the Wi-Fi News, the hub that will be for our Gen 3 users. We've had some buttons and functions added. And number 4, which you'll understand a little more down the road, is the Tumbler Vision. And then at the end, we'll award a prize. And Wes, the contest is actually, you have the photograph of that, right?
Right. Well, more than the photograph, it's the real thing. So,
okay, so Wes is going to show you something.
Drum roll, please.
And the first person who can name what it is, not you, Scott.
Yeah. Okay. So, Scott, you can't play.
No.
And this is not available for anyone on the Pet Tutor team.
Right.
But I'm going to show you something, and I want you to name what this something is in the chat window. The first person to name it will win a lovely prize, which is an accessory that could be used with a lot of things, not just for the Pet Tutor, but we have a little accessory that will be the grand prize for the evening. And so when I show you this, I want you to tell me what the name of it was. Oh, I gave part of it away, but you're going to see this. Hopefully, Amanda, can you see my face okay?
Yes.
All right. So here's the device. Well, what's the name of this device?
Back in the day.
Got the little lid.
It was new technology way back when.
Okay, I haven't seen anyone answer yet. Sega, somebody said. PDA, somebody said. It's close. I want the specific brand. Oh, Elizabeth Zeiser. Amanda, can you catch that? She got it. Looks like the first one. She said Palm Pilot. This is actually, I'll pull off the little thing. My wife was cleaning out a cabinet and pulled this out, and I thought, holy cow, I hadn't seen
No, it looks like John Clark said it first.
Okay, well, it's a Palm or Palm Pilot. I saw somebody said PDA, Sega.
Well, first, yeah. And then quickly Elizabeth said, they said both say 708.
Oh, I do. Okay, I see the Palm. Yeah, it's kind of hard my scrolling
John,
here.
yeah.
Who was first?
John Clark.
John Clark. Okay, thank you, John. Yes, this is actually it's the Palm.
Oh, John Clark says it was a tie.
Yeah. This came out originally in 1996 by US Robotics. It was quite the thing. It was really the beginning of a whole line of, which I think probably led ultimately to like the iPad today and tablets. But this even had a little stylus with it that you could input data on the screen. And then this, following this, the BlackBerry came out. The BlackBerry was really popular for a long time and then went away. But they sold from 1996 to 98, 1 million of these sold. In the year 2000, the stock was going for $669 a share. So they were flying high, but 9 years later, 2009, the stock was at $11. I hope nobody bought high on that. That would really hurt. So the Palm, originally Palm Pilot or Palm, it was sold to HP in, when was that? In 2010, then in 2011, they stopped selling it. So that is the Palm Pilot. Wow, how technology changes. I'm going to hang on to it because this could be a collector's item. But I love how technology evolves. This was the thing in its day, and it didn't have near the capability of the modern phones. So Amanda, if you'll, what we're going to need, that was John Clark, if you would email smart or email, how we want to do this, support@pettutor.biz, support@pettutor.biz. We'll need your information to ship you the prize, which is the Pet Tutor, a new Pet Tutor bag for the Pet Tutor Mini. And this just went in the store. Was it today, Amanda?
Today.
And inside the bag, you can put all the Pet Tutor parts. The mini stuff will fit very well in the bag. It's got a zipper to put like extra food, clickers, that kind of thing on the, it's got a nice little handle that you can hold it from or on your shoulder. Again, you could use it. It's very thick. And did you say it was insulated? Yeah, it feels like.
Yeah, it's padded and insulated.
Padded and insulated. So if you had some food you wanted to keep cool, you could put that in there. So you don't have to use it just for your Pet Tutor. If you have a Gen 1, 2, or 3, sorry, the bag is too small or the feeder's too big, depending on how you look at it, it will not fit. So this will work with the Mini, but it is too small for the Generation 1, 2, or 3 feeders. So that's the bag, and we'll get that out as soon as we get all your information. So if you'll just let us know that you're the winner, we'll get that out to you. So that was the little contest that we had. And what Amanda's got on, are you screen sharing, Amanda?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you see my screen, Scott?
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Got it. I have some other things on my screen.
Okay.
Yep. So what we've got up, what Amanda's showing now in the middle is the Pet Tutor Mini.
Are you ready? Ready.
And over to the right-hand side is the ultimate motion detection package, which can trigger the Mini. And so Amanda's going to show you a video now of how you can use the Pet Tutor Mini and Uno in some training applications. And then we've got some new stuff coming, and we're going to share what's happening on that front as well. So Amanda, if you are ready to play the video.
Our star.
Her star, yes, that is. I volunteer in a service dog program, and she is a service dog in training. That was Nana, and there's the bag, and there's it visiting the office. This is on the wall. You'll see the Pet Tutor Mini mounted on the wall, dropping treats to the floor. There's a battery underneath it, so you can put it anywhere on the wall. It doesn't matter. And over on the crate is another Pet Tutor Mini. They're both being triggered. Yeah, there's an example of mounting on the wall. That was if you were counter conditioning two dogs that might be a little afraid or reactive with each other. I've done some work with reactive dogs and actually have used a setup like this to counter condition. Now, these guys are doing a demo, so I wouldn't start this close if they're really strongly reactive, but they're pretty good. You wanted to get a couple of dogs, you can fire them at the same time, and you can now do that. You can do it from the app over Bluetooth, or you could do it over Wi-Fi. And so because of the new Wi-Fi capability that is integrated into the new Pet Tutor Mini, that's what we didn't say anything about when it first came out. It was Bluetooth only, but we've been working really hard with Scott's incredible coding skills to get Wi-Fi going. And a special form of Wi-Fi too. It's just Wi-Fi on steroids. We were able to do quite a bit. Here's an example showing the mounted on a tripod. You can also use it in the back seat. Like if you have somebody that likes to bark during car rides, you can trigger it, put it into automatic mode, or trigger it occasionally to keep the dog quiet. This is showing the mini clicker. So you could hold it in your hand and trigger it as well. It's small enough and light enough, it's easy to attach to the headrest. And so that's a car application. You could also mount it to a crate and stick it in the back of the car. Okay, is that?
That's it.
That's it, okay. So those are just some examples of applications, everyone, that you could use the Pet Tutor Mini for. Another area that we wanted to talk about tonight is something we're calling, well, we have been mentioning the Wi-Fi capability. And so the Wi-Fi is able to, this form of, or the format or the structure of Wi-Fi that we're using allows you to open up a web page.
Why don't I open my web page up?
Yeah, if you're sharing, if you've got your control panel there, yeah. So if you look at what Amanda's showing there,
I think I'm connected here.
Calling this the remote feeding panel. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and give it a, there you go. So she's got a web page open, and what happens is she hits the feed button, and she could be anywhere right now. And when she hits that button, it will send a command over Wi-Fi up to the cloud and then back down to the feeder.
Or I could also set the timer.
Yeah, so in this case, the web page itself, now this is all a work in progress. And so what you see here is going through an evolution right now. We're inventing new capabilities. Scott's got some really cool ideas coming along about what could be added to the page. Some things you'll see already. Scott is the creator of, creator of a new use of QR codes called the semantic marker, which allows you to use your phone and just scan the code and trigger the feeder. So as soon as you would point your phone at that image, it would it would trigger the feeder if someone had a phone that let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I can get the resolution on my phone to get it, but yeah, if you, oh, there it goes.
Oh, yep, you got it.
All right. Yeah, so yeah, what I did is I pointed my phone at the QR code or the semantic marker, and it automatically triggered Amanda's feeder, which is across town. She lives in another part of around central Indiana. So I'm down in Indianapolis, and she's way out on the outskirts. So just pointing my phone at the device made it, or at the QR code.
Oh, there it goes again. Somebody else.
So somebody's triggering it by pointing their phone at that QR code, which really adds a lot of flexibility. So think about that. You don't have to install an app. You don't have to have any kind of special URL link. All the information needed is in that QR code. So just by pointing at that, you can also, Scott's talked about putting those up. This is part of the iDog Watch scheme, is you could put those markers, anywhere around the house and just point your phone at the marker and trigger the feeder. So it really adds an incredible amount of flexibility and versatility to how you would trigger the feeder. Okay. So that Wi-Fi is this particular technology that we're using is very popular in industrial control systems. It's very robust, very, very fast. And we as trainers ourselves, we really appreciate the need for speed. So we're constantly benchmarking our speed, how quickly we can see something happen with the animal and get the marker signal back to the animal. So we're constantly doing that. The internet has some limitations depending upon your own service that you have on the speed, but we're trying to fine tune and speed up all the pieces that we have control over to make the feeding process very, very quick, to make it more useful for actual training applications. So that's the Wi-Fi. It's really very unique. It's very fast. The other thing that comes along with that is we have a fairly universal, I would say it's probably about as universal as you can get, capability to work alongside any video streaming service. So we have right now, I don't know if you can see her, there's so many people, she might have scrolled off the screen. I've got a puppy in the crate next to me. That's Nana, the service dog puppy in training. And she's got a Generation 3 pet tutor on the crate.
I'm pinning her for a minute.
Oh, good. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, if you could pin her, that would be a really good way.
Can you see her now? She's at the front of the line.
Let's
see. Is it just me that pinned it?
Yeah, right. I think, I don't know if you share your screen, your entire
let me
screen.
see if I can make it bigger. No.
Okay, well,
sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to do this with Zoom.
They should be, if I'll put it right in the middle, they should be able to see that. Are you going to wake the little darling up? Oh, now you're triggering my units.
Oh, I got the wrong.
I have treats flying over here.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can get this to work. So I've got an Android, and on Android, I can do a split screen. We could do this. We've got so many people. That's the problem in showing this group is I want to bring the puppy front and center in the video. And let's see here.
That's me again.
Yeah, so what if any of you that are in this meeting right now that have a Gen 3, so what we are talking about now with the hub is it's a hub, or in engineering jargon, a gateway. It provides now a path from the Generation 3 Bluetooth over Wi-Fi, so that you can then use the Generation 3 on the internet.
She just got a treat.
Yeah.
She laid back down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you can pin the puppy, it's the one called a Pet Tutor. If you can see her, I'm going to
You should be able to see it because I'm sharing a screen. I have it in the middle.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, here we go.
I think she's hopeful.
Okay. I think I got this going. Let's see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I'm seeing. I don't know if you guys can see that on my screen, but I've got my Android phone, and down at the bottom is my WiseCam streaming video service. So I've got WiseCam cameras. You can get those. This one is a pan until, I think they go for around $30. The one that's just a fixed camera is about $20. So they're pretty inexpensive. They have a lot of capabilities. So that's the video down here. And then when I want to send the feed command, I can hit the feed button up on top, and she just got a treat. And that was through the internet. And now, if that feed button looks too small, the beauty of having this on a web page is I can make that button really, really big. So I just stretch that button out to make it about almost half the screen. And so I can hit that. There, I just fed the puppy. I could make that, if I didn't have the video on there, I could almost fill my entire phone with the feed button. So I've had a number of people have said, boy, you know what, I'm training, I'm really focused on the animal, so I don't want to have to look for the little feed button. Well, you can make the button as big as you want by just stretching and zooming in, and you can make that button fill the entire screen for the puppy. She wakes up, gets a treat, and goes back to sleep. And a hard day at work for this puppy. So that is the new capability that will now be available to any Generation 3 pet tutor owners. And if you're interested, we're going to start. We don't have those in the store yet. It's called the Hub. It'll be a very small device. And that allows you then to connect. You'll have to set up a cloud account. You do that, and then you can go anywhere you want and trigger the feeder over the internet. If you're interested, send a note to support@pettutor.biz. Say you're a Gen 3 pet tutor owner and you would like to get one of the early Hub versions to try out with your Generation 3. Sorry, if you have a Gen 2, this is only works today with a Generation 3 pet tutor. So if you got a Gen 3 pet tutor and you want to get on the internet with it, can
you show them what they have to buy?
What's that?
I mean, can you show them what the Hub looks like?
Yeah, I think we were going to put it in a package, Amanda, but
yeah, but this is
very small. It really is the mini. we're working on a lot of capabilities that are built into this. So it's the same as the mini clicker, but you put it into the hub mode, or it senses the generation 3 pet tutor, connects to it, and then you set up your cloud account, and then it handles everything. Now it does have a rechargeable battery, but it probably won't last that long on the rechargeable battery. So I'd plug it into the wall. And Scott, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, just to extend what you just said. So you have the Waze or whatever that is, Wise or Waze, you know, not
Wise
the
Cam.
thing.
Wise Cam.
So $30. That has USB power. I have it in the other room, but
oh yeah,
you have the feeder on USB power, and they both have the internet. And the idea would be you could have your hotspot internet. You know, I get one, you know, $20 a month or something. Put that in your car. So with the thing you showed, Amanda, you could be totally remote. You're, you know, at the restaurant next door, and you see the camera and you see the thing. And you mentioned the Android had the split screen. iPads have the split screen. Regular computers do too, you know. But yeah, the nice thing about that Android had the split screen. But so yeah, so the potential is really cool if you have internet. And the idea would be suck up anybody's Wi-Fi wherever you go, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
So we've been, you know, people have been really interested in Wi-Fi capability for a long time. Thanks for adding that point about the being able to piggyback on the USB power in the car. Then you've got video and the feed capability in the car. So you don't have to use Wi-Fi. Again, the Bluetooth is still there. So if you go out to the agility course somewhere and you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't want to use your hotspot, then you can fall back into Bluetooth mode on the feeder and use the smart clicker or your phone to trigger the feeder on Bluetooth. So either way, have it your way, remote over the internet or Bluetooth. So that's the Wi-Fi capability, again, that is integrated in. There was some discussion in the user group about whether you needed the smart clicker or the mini clicker or not. You don't if you've got the Pet Tutor Mini. It does have the Wi-Fi integrated into the Pet Tutor Mini. Let's see. Will the mini clicker with Bluetooth? Both the mini clicker and the mini feeder have both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. I hope it gets, there's a lot of capability here. I hope I'm explaining, but you've got everything. So the mini clicker has both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and the feeder has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Not to get too deep in the woods, but the mini clicker could actually send a feed command over the internet. So you could push the button if you were in Bluetooth range and trigger your feeder. Alternatively, you could actually push the button and send the feed command to your pet tutor anywhere that you have Wi-Fi access. So the answer is yes, the mini clicker has both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And if you want to use just that, the simple setup is mini clicker and the mini feeder on Bluetooth, and you're good to go. The next stage up in capability then is to get on the internet, and both devices can do that for you.
Or they could fire it within Bluetooth range with the app.
Yeah, and
Mini.
Yes, and you could connect the mini feeder on to your Wi-Fi and also send a Bluetooth command to the feeder locally. So you could be in the room and working with your trainer. So, or if you're a professional trainer and you've got a client, you could say, okay, whip out your app or your mini clicker, and you train a little bit. Okay, now let me train, and you take over. If you're in Seattle and your client is in Indianapolis, you could say, well, let me take over and let me do a little bit of training here remotely. And you could both be doing it. So you could do a trial from Seattle, and then I could do one here in Indianapolis. So you could go back and forth between Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, all sorts of combinations. So you're not really restricted to one or the other. And you can really mix and match. You can actually have the feeder doing both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi at the same time. Now, you go figure out the use cases. If you want to stay simple, though, if you want to stay simple, you know, just keep it on Bluetooth, just like the old days. You know, just push the button and you can trigger the feeder within Bluetooth range. If you want to go on Wi-Fi, you can do that too. And if you've got a Gen 3, we now have a way to get you on the internet with your Gen 3 feeder too. Okay, that's a lot about the Wi-Fi and the hub, but there's a lot there, and even more coming. It is just mind-boggling. What Scott and I talk sometimes about this, and I just have to kind of, you know, take a deep breath, because it's amazing the possibilities. So we're rolling out one level of capability of things that you can do. I think we kind of hinted at that with Scott's semantic marker and what's possible there. So it works, but doesn't fit the UNO correctly. It catches. I'm not sure what that was. Yep. So it works.
So that's mine, Wes.
Oh.
Hi. So if you see my it doesn't fit correctly on the UNO. When I press the button, it doesn't always turn correctly, and it catches, even though it's set correctly. So I'll hit the.
Yeah, Liz, you're thank you. You're one of the beta testers. That's okay. We are already moving past that. So, okay. Yep. So don't worry about it. Yeah. In fact, that's why I've asked the beta testers to kind of wait before we share anything.
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah, yeah. We because we're constantly getting that feedback and changing things on the fly.
Okay.
So there's some new capabilities coming. In fact, that is one of the things I'll talk about now. Liz, the unit you have does not have buttons and LEDs, for instance, on the side of the, and Liz is a great longtime supporter. We appreciate all your help.
Fabulous customer.
Yep, you've been wonderful, very supportive for a long time. And so Liz is one of our beta testers, and the first units that we sent out didn't have any buttons or LEDs on it. The new version does. Okay. And so you can actually walk up and give a feed command on the unit. It has more power in it, so things turn. There's more strength in turning, and there's some other things that we're doing that are making improvements in the way it feeds and works with other devices. But you'll have we've also added, and I think all the beta units had a buzzer. We put a buzzer in there for an acoustic marker. So that's going to come out. The very first units that we were in test with didn't have that. We've added that marker. There's also the LED lights will tell you if you're connected to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or both. So that'll make that a lot easier. The other thing, so that is, that's coming on the user interface side on the Mini. The buttons, the LEDs will make it a lot easier to work with. And so if you see the units out in the field, if anyone, we've got a few people that are beta testing, and if you've got a unit on order you'd like to try out a beta unit, you can let us know. We'll see if we can get you in the beta test program. But the units the final version will come out as a gray and blue combo. So what I'm holding here, the green ones are an early phase of the beta program right now. They're greenhousing, but we're getting really close now to make it to the final version. We haven't changed the size, so physically it's going to be a small package like that. The UNO cartridge sets on top and has 15 pockets that you can put treats in. You can put as many as it will fit, but the idea is really for precision. Over the years, we've had people with very small animals, very small dogs, or other birds, exotic, small. Yeah, there's Liz. Yeah, that's right.
She has
so,
a
for
small
example, and I think Liz is one that said, boy, I'd like to get fewer treats out so you can very precisely control how many treats come out with this. With the Uno, you can have a couple cartridges ready and swap them out. But we also know that there are other training situations where you've got your maybe in the car and you want to feed more than 15 treats. We are working on an expanded capability using the Mini. So this is the Mini with the Uno attachment. Uno meaning one treat at a time if you want, one treat at a time. This is a new container that will hold almost 2 cups of kibble. And so it works much more like the original Pet Tutor. It doesn't have all the full capability, which was 5 cups of kibble, but 1.5 to 2 cups of kibble, if that'll do it. I won't, we're still working on this. We're revealing, we're just telling you where we're at right now, just trying to be as straight up with you as we can, and let you know that we are very well aware that some people would like to have more food to be able to dispense. And this one, we have already started testing this system. And the beauty of this is it goes on the same Mini housing. So this, you don't have to buy a whole separate unit. The Mini comes with this the packages that were pre-ordered come with the Uno. But when this is available, we'll make it available as an option to add the 2 cup holder if you want that. But it would fit on the same housing, so you don't have to replace the housing. It would be the same for either one. You can go back and forth too. It's a quick attach, detach approach. So I think, so we've talked about the Wi-Fi and the hub and the new larger container that we're working on. We're right in the middle of doing some testing with that. It's actually dispensing treats, but we want to really perfect the reliability of that before we say, yeah, we're ready to offer this. And let's see, Amanda, what else was on the schedule?
The 3 buttons?
Yeah, we talked about the 3 buttons.
Oh, I thought you were showing them.
I don't, I took the unit to the office. So.
I was like, I didn't see him show. Okay.
Yeah, let's see, I thought I might have had a picture of those. It's a button to turn the buzzer on and off. So you hit that. You don't have to go into anything to turn the buzzer on and off. There's another button to kick it into a lower power mode, so it's not draining the power as much. And then there's a manual feed button, which also allows you to just test it and do a single feed, and probably also to reset your cloud account. So if you get it set up to the cloud and you want to change that, then you just hit that button and you're good to go on the cloud.
Okay, so I can go back to sharing if you want to go back to the agenda.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that was it. Wi-Fi News, Hub for Gen 3, buttons that were added, the Tumbler Vision, the prize awarded.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. And so if you're in the beta test, we will be getting close to rolling out some new units. So Sarah on our team is our coordinator for the beta test. She'll be talking to you about the next upgrade version of the unit. So we'll do a swap. We'll ask you to send the green version that you've got back, and then we'll ship you out the upgraded version. Scott, if you want to unmute, someone says, is the web page still hard coded with username and password? John Clark.
No,
oh, John.
no, nothing's hard coded. When you get the web page, it's your web page with your username password. That's what the guest password idea was, is you can pass out your guest password and then take it away later if you don't want, if somebody's misusing it. So all of the QR codes are all with the guest passwords because they're kind of been fixed in concrete for a little bit, whatever that might be. There is a possibility we can, in some versions, change to this HTTP post idea where you can actually hide all that information inside the body so you actually don't see it. But the URL right now has a password in it. It's not visible to anybody, but if somebody takes your account or sees your computer, they can see that information. That's the hassle we got right now.
That's the cloud account, not the Wi-Fi. That's that's
different.
Yeah, that's just the account that sends the feed command. So it's about all they could do with it. There's a layer of
there actually is a web page. So the process for, if you don't have an internet, I mean, to get the credentials, the Wi-Fi password in there, you need to enter that information somewhere. And so we bring up a web page on its own Wi-Fi. It actually creates its own Wi-Fi that has to be in a special mode to do that. And then you enter data on the web page.
Yeah, that Wi-Fi, it's not on the internet. It's just between like your computer and the feeder, or the feeder and your phone. And that's the only two. They're just talking directly to each other. It's actually the Wemo smart switches are done that way. The what's that vacuum that you had? The Eufy. The Eufy is done that way. It is a local Wi-Fi connection that you set things up. So that's a pretty common approach in the consumer electronics world.
The advantage of that is that you don't need the app, for example. Yeah. But if you have an app, we can send Bluetooth, all the exact same data. I have that working, but we found some limitations on the free apps out there that you're going to do 20 characters, and we need a lot more than that, turns out. To send your data down. So we have a bunch of different ways to get that data in there.
I will tell you, Scott, this structure with the Wi-Fi and the URL, I am just loving it. I mean, I've used the Pet Tutor. I don't want to denigrate my own app, but this is just so much faster. You know, I've got a little shortcut, you know, on my phone, and on any of the phones, you can create a shortcut to your web page, and then if you hit it, it's up and it's ready to go. Boom! I hit the feed command, done. Before, you know, if I didn't have the app on, I got to start the app. It has to go out and connect to the feeder. And, you know, it takes just a little bit to get up and going. With this, I mean, it is almost as fast as you can hit the button. And
it really is amazing how fast.
The Wi-Fi, this is a whole lot faster to get connected to the feeder and give a feed command. If you're just starting from scratch, you know, and your feeder is connected to the router and the Wi-Fi, you can shoot a kibble out pretty fast.
But there is some constraint. Is if you have a slow internet, you're going to have a slow connection. In some degrees. I actually have a satellite one, and it doesn't do very good speed wise, and so it has to be relatively fast internet.
But you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, aren't you on top of Kilt?
You have like a mountain blocking everything.
Yeah. Well, you know, and to your point though, the page comes up really fast, and it's just a feed command. Cool. So it's not a very big thing that you're sending out. Now, if you're doing video, it would be, but if you're just sending a feed command, there's not much to go out. But it is getting up and running is really quick with this approach, and more flexible. And we've been playing around with ideas to add control of multiple feeders. Scott's also got some ideas. You know, if you're running a kennel operation, we've had a lot of people that are in shelters, rescues, service dog programs that want to control multiple feeders. And this is far superior to the way you'd have to do that with Bluetooth. It's much more capability with this new approach for multiple feeder applications. I do want to say before we get ready to close, and then we'll take questions anywhere along the line if anybody has any. Somebody was asking if they can get in if you want to get into the beta test program, we've kind of moved through the first iteration, but you can jump in. Well, I shouldn't say you can, but we'll see if we've got spots for that. If you're interested and you do have a unit on pre-order, those are the folks that we're putting into the beta test program. So if you're in that situation, you've got a pre-order, we'll see if we can work you into the beta program. Send a note to support@pettutor.biz, or probably just as easy as Sarah C at smartanimaltraining.com. Sarah C, the letter C, at smartanimaltraining.com, and she's doing our coordination for the beta test program, and we'll see if we can get you in. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, that's so we just Amanda posted in the chat that email for Sarah. So it'd be better you can directly get a hold of her, and she has a whole process to get things set up, get you in the queue, and show you how to use the interfaces that I just went through tonight, and allow you to trigger the feeder before you ever get it. And Sarah will manage all that. She'll get you set up. The other thing that I do want to mention is we're really very passionate about helping people with disabilities and providing technology to help with that. We are starting to work with people that are in wheelchairs. We've had a number of clients, I mentioned this before, with the Pet Tutor Generation 3 with moderate to severe disabilities that wanted to work with their service dog or pet dog. And we have a limited capacity to do this, but we will engineer, do some custom engineering if the individual is willing to purchase the Pet Tutor and mount it on the wheelchair. Then we'll come up with custom mounts and even custom interfaces. We've gone so far as kind of setting up a scheme to wire into the electronic control of an electric wheelchair. We've had people that have very limited hand control that are quadriplegics, that are giving their dogs treats from the Pet Tutor. And so we're going to be doing more of that. We do have that representative in our current beta program. We'd like to get some more people that with disabilities that would like to work with doesn't have to be a service dog, a pet dog or a service dog. We'll prioritize them and get them in the program. It looks like the last orders that came in timing wise, we said those would be shipping in June. It looks like that's probably a pretty reasonable target. The earlier ones, it might be a little before that. We'll have to see. We're getting close now after this next round of beta units. So, maybe sometime this month in May, the first round will go out, and then the additional batches, depending on when the order came in. If you're in the first round, we're going to send those out when they're in production, the production units, as the orders have come in. So people that ordered early on are going to get those first, and then we'll provide the other units later on. So anything else? Amanda, anything else that we needed to cover?
We have a lot of fun things. We try not to overwhelm you. There are so many different accessories and amazing ways you can just use this little guy. You can see mine on the wall back here. Can you see it, Wes?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear it?
Yep.
Yep. So I'm able to keep it plugged in, which I like. And it has the motion sensor on it too. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun for everyone to play
Oh,
with.
yeah. Yeah. Now, yes. And what Amanda's showing on the wall behind her is the little mini clicker mounted on the extended battery handle. We call it the battery wand, that white wand. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Amanda. And so this little red part is the mini clicker, which can also be the hub to control your Gen 3. But it is limited on battery capacity. And I would say you probably are looking at maybe an hour and a half of operation on that little red part, but you get almost 10 times that. You're probably up to 9 or 10 hours when you have the wand on battery of continuous operation. And then you can always plug it into the wall as well. And either one of those will run directly off of wall power. And that little blue box on top is the motion detector. And so when anybody walks by, another dog or a person walks by, it will send a feed command to the Pet Tutor Mini. Now, Scott, I'm just thinking, could this, I guess, I suppose if that was operating in hub mode and the PIR is the same as a button push, you could do that with a Gen 3. Yeah, I don't think there's any. You're on mute, Scott. You're on mute, Scott.
Yeah. No, yeah. So that's the power of this. We actually now are knowing from our device whether it's the Gen 3 or the new one. And the new one, we can talk Bluetooth to it as well. But the old one, we have to talk Bluetooth. But all its functions are the same. So it gets a message, or it generates its own message from the PIR or whatever it is. We have to hook that in there. There's going to be a bunch of those kind of cross ways of getting it working. It's really impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Like I say, scanning the code, and this is just an example of the code pop up. We've been playing with some ideas here that you can click on. Click the button, it does whatever it's supposed to do. Buzzer on, buzzer off. I was just getting that working, but it can also somebody can scan it with their phone. It's actually giving you status about the device you're talking about. So the QR code is actually changing. Let me show you this one real quick. If it's in the status mode, see it's flickering. It's because I only have one. Well, the battery is one of the pieces of parameters in that code, but I have a timer just so I have something changing more often. It's pretty slick. So the idea would be that you could be scanning that with an app that is dynamic, what I've been building, and you could see all the status. The stuff that we talked about the other day, Wes, the status of all the events that you're doing, the Wi-Fi's on, the Bluetooth's on, all that kind of stuff. Since it knows what it is, we can provide that out in a graphic way other than just on the device. And this is our only user interface other than that web page. People don't realize that. So it's really tricky to know what's happening about anything. So it's a challenge on our user interface problem.
So we're trying to package this so that you don't have to go back to school to figure it out. But it does have a lot of capability and very, very much more than what we had in the Gen 3 in many ways. Somebody asked about the climb mount. You bet. We have already did a little prototype test of a climb mount for the new feeder. We had to put it on temporary hold because we had to get everything else ready. But it is definitely on our development plan to add a climb mount for this new version. It'll probably be a pretty small attachment. The new Mini is so lightweight and compact, it won't take a lot to really attach it to the climb. And so, I would look for that pretty soon. Okay, I don't see any other questions. So unless anybody, Scott or Amanda, if you have anything to add? All right.
I think you're going to love it.
All right. Well, stay tuned. Thanks everyone for attending tonight.
Thank you. Bye-bye.